We would like to welcome you to our team. We are now going to be going over our Fuzzy's Taco Shop Employee Handbook. As a member of Fuzzy's Taco Shop team, you are an important part of a company highly dedicated to serving its customers. Our success in maintaining the high quality our customers have come to expect is only possible because of people like you and your fellow employees. This handbook is intended to apply to all employees of Fuzzy's Taco Shop. It includes useful information regarding your employment with Fuzzy's Taco Shop. You will be given additional procedures and policies regarding your position with the company. This handbook is intended only for the purpose of fostering a better work atmosphere and should not be construed in any way to create an impress or imply contract of employment between Fuzzy's Taco Shop and its employees. Fuzzy's Taco Shop is an equal opportunity employer. Applicants' employees will be considered equally unless there is an occupational skill required, or a disability prevents the applicant or employee from performing an essential function of the job with or without reasonable accommodation, or from performing the job in a safe manner. Your first 90 days is your probationary period. You will be given a performance appraisal covering overall performance, job skills, disciplinary record, attendance and cooperation with fellow employees, and customer service. It is the policy of Fuzzy's Taco Shop that it will not tolerate harassment of our employees. The term harassment includes, but is not limited to, slurs, jokes, or other verbal, graphic, or physical conduct relating to an individual's race, color, sex, religion, national origin, citizenship, age, or disability. If you feel you are being harassed in any way by another employee or customer or vendor or anyone with whom you come in contact during your work, you should make your feelings known immediately. You may report harassment to your supervisor or any member of management. Rest assured that you will not be penalized in any way for reporting harassment concerning yourself or any other person. Fuzzy's Taco Shop will take immediate action to punish anyone who seeks reprisal as a consequence of harassment being reported. All harassment complaints will be thoroughly investigated, and when appropriate, corrective action, including disciplinary action, will be taken. We consider harassment to be a major offense, which may result in suspension or discharge of an offender. Do not assume that Fuzzy's Taco Shop is aware of your problem. It is your responsibility to make known your complaints and concerns so they can be resolved. It is Fuzzy's Taco Shop policy to establish working hours as required by workload and production flow. There are different jobs in Fuzzy's Taco Shop requiring different hours of work. An employee's work schedule will depend on tasks to which he or she is assigned. Overtime may be scheduled when approved by a supervisor. The use of overtime will be limited to that absolutely essential for job accomplishment. Overtime will be paid in excess of 40 hours per week at 1.5 times the employee's hourly rate. The work week begins on Monday. Rest breaks are considered time worked, but lunch periods are not. Employees are not permitted to work before their scheduled starting time or continue to work after their normal quitting time without the prior approval of the supervisor. Checks will only be distributed to the employees whose name appears on the check, unless written authorization with identification is provided. You are on a biweekly payroll. The work week begins Monday morning and ends Sunday night. Your payday will be every other Tuesday 1 week following pay period end. You can pick up your paycheck anytime after 3 p.m. Please be aware of our lost, stolen, mutilated payroll check policy. Checks that are lost or stolen will be stopped immediately when the following process is completed. A lost check form that is emailed to payroll@4ifc.com and received. Employees will be charged an administration fee of $25. We will not be able to replace the lost or stolen check until an expiration date of 90 days from the date the check was issued. A replacement check will be prepared for the employee following that 90 days. Paychecks that are mutilated in the mail or by the employee will be issued when the following process is completed. Lost check form is emailed to payroll@4fc.com. $25 administration fee for stop pay service. And the mutilated check is returned to Fuzzy's Taco Shop Payroll Service Office. At the time we receive the mutilated check, we will reissue the check and it will be ready for pickup. We mail all final checks to employee's address on file unless otherwise indicated. Mail check distribution form. All employees are expected to arrive on time, ready to work every day. If you are unable to arrive at work on time or must be absent for an entire day, you must contact your supervisor as soon as possible. Leaving a message with a coworker is not acceptable. Excessive absenteeism, excused or unexcused, or tardiness will result in discipline up to and including termination. Absence from work without notification for 2 consecutive scheduled days will be deemed voluntary termination. Any employee enlisting or entering the military service of the United States pursuant to the provisions of the Uniformed Services Employment and Reemployment Act as amended will be granted all rights and privileges provided by the Act. Employees will be allowed unpaid leave to serve on jury duty. Employees must notify their supervisor when summoned for jury duty. Employees are expected to keep their supervisor informed as to the expected length of service of the jury and to be able to return to work at the conclusion of the trial. Employees must call their immediate supervisor 3 hours before you are scheduled to work if you will not be in or will be late for work. To return to work for an accident or medical leave, all employees must present a doctor's release. Violation of any of the following rules as listed in the Employee Handbook will be subject an employee to discipline, which may include written warning, suspension, or discharge. The gravity of the offense and extenuating circumstances will be considered by Fuzzy's Taco Shop to determine the appropriate penalty. Just a few of those listed is use of foul and abusive language, personal work on company time, sleeping during working hours, reporting incorrect hours of work. It is Fuzzy's Taco Shop policy that no minor or intoxicated person shall be served. Employees who willfully violate this policy will be terminated immediately. Employees must card anyone ordering an alcoholic beverage who does not appear to be well over the age of 30. As an alcohol server, you should know the laws and regulations concerning the serving and consumption of alcohol within a licensed premise. One method of safe alcohol service includes the same basic sequence of a traffic signal. The levels of intoxication are organized into red, yellow, and green colors. Green equals go. Okay for this customer to drink at a safe pace. Yellow, caution. The customer is showing signs that the alcohol is beginning to affect them. Red, stop. The customer is obviously intoxicated and no alcohol should be served. The following are some steps you may take when a customer is in the yellow zone. Refill their glass at a slower rate. Suggest low alcohol content or filling drinks as an ice cream drink. Serve water or fruit juices with all straight drinks. Despite all your good efforts, a customer may become intoxicated and should not be served additional alcohol. When a customer reaches the red level, here are some suggestions to use when cutting off a customer. Avoid a confrontation. Do not attempt any physical confrontation. Make the manager and all personnel aware of the problem. Bring menus to the table and casually suggest an appetizer. Suggest an alternative form of transportation. If the patron insists on driving, report this to your supervisor at once. Employees should dress properly for the job. Loose clothing and jewelry are dangerous while working. It is the policy of Fuzzy's Taco Shop that employees wear closed-toe shoes and no high heels at all times while working in or passing through production area. Dress code is as follows. Cooks, prep, and dishwashers, Fuzzy's logo shirt, black khaki or denim shorts or pants, no sweatpants, and a Fuzzy's logo hat. Cashiers, Fuzzy's logo shirt, black khaki or denim shorts or pants. While personal hygiene is critical for being presentable to guests, it is imperative for the protection of their health. Employees must bathe and brush their teeth before reporting to work, have their fingernails clipped and clean, and keep their hair neat, clean, and worn in such a way as to avoid food contamination. Facial hair should be kept to a minimum and should be neat and well trimmed. Frequent hand washing is the first line of defense in preventing foodborne illness. Always wash your hands when changing tasks. Examples include before starting work, during work, or as often as necessary to avoid cross-contaminating food and to maintain cleanliness after smoking, coughing, sneezing, eating, or each visit to the restroom. If you feel ill or have been diagnosed with a foodborne illness, report this to your supervisor before starting work. It is the policy of Fuzzy's Taco Shop to strive for the highest possible level of safety in all activities and operations, and to carry out our commitment of compliance with all health and safety laws applicable to our business by enlisting the help of all employees to ensure that public and work areas are free of hazard conditions. If an employee is injured in connection with employment, regardless of the severity of the injury, the employee must immediately notify his or her supervisor. If medical care is needed immediately, supervisors will assist their employees in getting the necessary medical attention promptly. Please become familiar with the following list on what we must do to protect your welfare and the welfare of your friends and fellow employees. Employees should follow the instructions of their supervisors. Warning signs and signals posted to alert employees to dangerous conditions are to be obeyed. Employees should pay strict attention to their work. Practical joking and horseplay are strictly prohibited and will not be tolerated, are just a few. You are allowed a 50% discount on all menu items for shift meals, that is, meals associated with working a shift. This applies only to you as an employee, not your guest. This discount does not apply to alcoholic beverages. All employees shall direct all media inquiries that concern Fuzzy's Taco Shop to executive management. Employees shall not conduct interviews or make media statements concerning Fuzzy's Taco Shop without prior written approval from executive management. Your manager will inform you about the designated employee parking area where employees at your location may park. This policy is implemented as part of Fuzzy's Taco Shop overall program to maintain the health and safety of employees, customers, and the public, and to prevent civil and criminal liability. This policy covers all employees and prospective employees. It covers the possession, use, distribution, or sale of drugs and drug paraphernalia. The term drugs refers to those substances regulated under state and federal law: inhalants, alcoholic beverages, and prescription drugs. The use of prescription drugs, when taken as directed by a doctor, are excluded from the coverage under this policy. Those cases where an employee is using prescription drugs which could impair the employee should inform their supervisor. It is the policy of this company that we maintain a drug-free workplace. No drug or drug use is allowed on Fuzzy's Taco Shop premises. There should be no solicitation or distribution of literature of any kind by an employee during actual working time of the employee soliciting or the employee being solicited. Working time does not include lunch and rest periods. Any employee who violates any part of this policy will be subject to disciplinary action up to and including dismissal. Non-employees are prohibited from soliciting and distributing literature at all times anywhere on company property. Non-employees have no right of access to any area of the premises other than areas open to the public, and then only in conjunction with the area's public use. Security. It is the policy of Fuzzy's Taco Shop to maintain strict control over entrance to the premises, access to work locations and records, computer information, and cash or other items of monetary value. Employees who are assigned keys, given special access, or assigned job responsibilities in connection with the safety, security, or confidentiality of such records material, equipment, or other items of monetary or business value will be required to use sound judgment and discretion in carrying out their duties and will be held accountable for any wrongdoing or acts of indiscretion. Fuzzy's Taco Shop has a vital interest in maintaining safe, helpful, and efficient working conditions. The use or possession of alcohol, drugs, weapons, or other intoxicants creates a serious threat to the health and safety of employees. In order to assist in maintaining a safe and enjoyable work environment, Fuzzy's Taco Shop has adopted the following policy. Fuzzy's Taco Shop may conduct unannounced searches for illegal drugs, alcohol, controlled substances, weapons, stolen property, evidence of stolen property, or stolen property of others within any area of the restaurant or office. Employees are expected to cooperate in the conducting of such searches. An employee's consent to search pursuant to this policy is required as a condition of employment. The employee's refusal to comply with this policy will result in disciplinary action up to and including termination. Personal visitors are not permitted in work areas. Business visitors will be escorted to the person they wish to see, and under no circumstances will they be permitted in the employee-only areas of the restaurant unescorted. All electronic and telephonic communication systems and all information transmitted by, received from, or stored in these systems are the property of Fuzzy's Taco Shop. These systems are not to be used for personal purposes, except as authorized by your supervisor. Trade secrets. Our internal procedures and recipes are of great value to Fuzzy's Taco Shop. Employees are not to disclose any proprietary processes or recipes to any person unless directed to by Fuzzy's Taco Shop management. Fuzzy's Taco Shop will institute civil action against anyone who violates this policy. It is the policy of Fuzzy's Taco Shop to ensure that every employee individually has a right to discuss their complaints and suggestions with management without fear of being subject to reprimand or discipline for requesting that a complaint or suggestion be processed through the approved procedure. Step 1. Any employee who has a complaint or suggestion concerning his or her job or any other matter which affects the employee should take the matter up with his or her immediate supervisor. If the immediate supervisor cannot resolve the complaint or take action on the suggestion to the satisfaction of the employee, he will then go to the general manager for problem resolution. Step 3. If the matter is still not settled by the general manager, he or she is to brief the HR department on the complaint or suggestion and agree for a meeting with the employee to discuss and resolve the matter. The history of the complaint, including all documentation, will be completed by the HR department as the complaint is processed through the steps in the above procedure. When an employee is terminated, voluntary or involuntary, the supervisor will notify the Human Resources Department. Every effort will be made to conduct an exit interview for the purpose of determining the reasons for the employee leaving Fuzzy's Taco Shop. We will be recovering keys if applicable or any other company property in the employee's possession. Learn of any grievance or problems the employee may have had with Fuzzy's Taco Shop so that management can investigate possible solutions. Inquire as to any problems between the employee and immediate supervisor so that a similar situation can be avoided in future. The manager will then initiate an employee status report documenting the separation and forward this to the HR department. The Employee Handbook is an important document intended to help you become acquainted with FI management doing business as Fuzzy's Taco Shop. This handbook will serve as a guide. It is not the final word in all cases. Individual circumstances may call for individual attention. You will acknowledge that you have received and understood that you must comply with the policies described in Fuzzy's Taco Shop Handbook. You will now begin the process of filling out documentation in order for the Fuzzy's Taco Shop payroll department to enter into our accounting system. Please note that the red asterisks are required fields. Once you've completed and hit Done to submit, you will be given the option to have all of the paperwork, including the employee handbook, emailed. Thank you.